The Federal High Court in Port Harcourt has issued an order restraining the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, from collecting value-added tax, VAT, and personal income tax, PIT, in Rivers State. The state government had sought 11 reliefs from the court. This includes a declaration that the power of the federal government to delegate the collection of tax can only be exercised by the state government or other authorities of the state. So joining us to discuss the legality and constitutionality of all of this is the managing consultant at FIDABO, Mr. Albert Folorunsho. Welcome to the show. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
This is not the first time that a state is going to contest the constitutionality of something that has been done forever. I think that it strengthens our legal institution for us to contest if we feel like this thing, there's controversies around it. It shouldn't really be. And I would like you to break down what this means. The legal. So one, explain for those just watching now. Yeah. What is the judgment the court gave, and what does this mean for both FIRS and the people of Rivers State?
Okay, thank you very much. Of course, the issue is around the value-added tax, which is a transaction tax, consumption tax, or production tax, or that everybody pays when you consume a service, a product, and so on. So if you look at the Constitution, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just going to be stating it strictly based on my own view. The Constitution, strictly, looking at the concurrent legislative list and the exclusive list, mentions strictly income and profit tax, and of course, stamp duty. Okay, that the National Assembly should have power to legislate on. Okay, and anything that is not on that list, it means that the state can have authority to legislate on it, and that is so. The Rivers State government went to court for three basic relief. That is one, whether the federal government or the Federal Republic of Nigeria can make sales tax or value-added tax law within the context of those exclusive and concurrent lists. Again, they wanted to know whether the National Assembly can, delegate the authority to collect VAT to any person other than the state. And again, whether the taxes, we have these taxes and levies approved list, decree number 21, which is now of 1998, which is now an act which specifically states the taxes that can be collected by state, local government, and federal government. And of course, VAT is not under the state. Wow. So whether that list is authentic, is constitutional, more or less. Rivers State has taken this to the next level. Okay, to say that is it actually constitutional
for them to collect within the states?
Yes, to collect within the. For federal government to be collecting VAT that is related to more or less consumption activities within the state. That has been the bone of contention. But of course, VAT is much more complex. If really we want to talk about which tax can be collected by the state, by the federal government, then the state should not be talking about VAT. Okay, maybe they want to look at the sales tax, the consumption tax, and there should be no overlapping anyway. Okay, because you will not be able, the taxpayers should not be made to pay excessive tax or multiple tax. Here you talked about road tax recently. Yes. Okay, so those are the issues that need to be addressed. It's not about having a constitutional power. Of course, so, we know that...
If VAT is supposed to be for value of goods bought or sold within a region, so the states, for instance, now, in some states up north, in Kano, for instance, Hisba destroyed alcohol products by, already paid for by some distributors in the state, saying that it is illegal or unaccepted in Kano State. But when it is allowed in Port Harcourt, where, the big guys drink a lot, and they make the VAT from it, it's now shared. So I'm just talking ethics now. Yeah. As, when the FIRS collect, this is money now shared, even to Kano, who would destroy the same products. Does it not make sense now for the VAT to be collected per state and shared and controlled by the state?
Okay, so like I said, VAT is a much more complex. Like you said, when you sell, you charge VAT. And of course, what you sell, you must have bought it. And at the point of buying, you also pay VAT, which we call the input VAT. Okay? When you sell, you charge VAT, which is the output VAT. It is the net effect that you pay to the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Okay? And so, how do we want to reconcile situation where you buy in Lagos and you sell in Port Harcourt? How do you offset? So the mechanism is not there, and that is why in most jurisdictions you don't have a state running value-added tax. It's an international phenomenon which is not peculiar to Nigeria. But you talk about the, maybe what you said is the ethical part, which I called the moral part, where morality and ethics has nothing to do with law. It is something that, if you look at the distribution mechanism now, 15% goes to federal government, 35% goes to the local government, while 50% goes to the state. Okay, with this Rivers State law, okay, even the local governments in Rivers State are going to be getting lower, because from the law that they have just promulgated, 70% to the state and 30% to the local government. So you are taking 30% of only what comes from Rivers State. Presently, the whole sum goes into the federation, and it is shared globally.
Could you just help me clarify this? Because for me, at first, when we read this, we thought this is a good thing for Rivers State, and then it will be a good thing for each and every other state in Nigeria. But the way you're explaining it is that it may not necessarily be like that in the long run. What states would, you've mentioned a few states that would find this advantageous, and why would it not be so for the other states? If
this provision, this decision is to be upheld maybe at the Supreme Court, what it means is that each state will now have a responsibility for collecting VAT in their own state on transactions carried out within the state. Okay. So, and that is why we have said that virtually 60% or more will be for Lagos State, because most of the transactions are carried out in Lagos State. Okay, and if you move down to other states, you look at where are the industries, where are the companies operating, where is the consumer, where is the population, okay? And those are the things that drives, revenue, particularly when it comes to VAT, which is a consumption tax.